Buying your first home, wow, it's one of the biggest moments of your life, right? But let's be honest, the whole process can feel super confusing. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down for you step by step, from that very first payment all the way to finally getting those keys in your hand.
If you're feeling that mix of, excitement and just a little bit of panic, you're not alone. It's a huge deal. But don't you worry, our goal here is to give you a really clear, simple roadmap. We're going to turn that confusion into confidence. Let's get right into it.
So here's our journey. We've got 6 main stops. We'll kick things off with the token amount, then move on to the all-important legal check, the sale agreement, getting your loan, the big day of registration, and finally, what you do right after it's all yours.
All right, so you've searched, and you've found the one. You've even agreed on a price. So what happens now? Well, your very first move is something called the token amount.
So what exactly is this token? Think of it as calling dibs on the house. It's a small payment that tells the seller, hey, I'm serious about this. Please don't show it to anyone else for a few days. This gives you some breathing room to get your next steps in order. So how much are we talking about? Well, it can vary, but usually it's somewhere between 11,000 and 1 lakh rupees. And here's a pro tip. Always pay this with something like Google Pay or a bank transfer. Why? Because you'll have a clear digital proof of the payment. Now listen up, because this is probably the most important thing to know about the token. It has to be 100% refundable. If you change your mind for any reason during that holding period, the seller must give you back every single rupee. No arguments.
Okay, so the property is on hold for you. Now it's time for what I think is the most critical safety check in this entire process, the legal verification.
Just think about it like this. If you're buying a property worth, say, 1 crore, spending about 5,000 rupees on a lawyer isn't really an expense. It's your protection. It's a tiny investment that can save you from a world of trouble later on.
So your lawyer basically becomes a detective. They'll go through every single piece of paper, checking the property's history, making sure the title is clear, and flagging any issues. Once they give you the green light, then you can move forward feeling safe and secure.
All right, the lawyer says everything looks good. Now it's time to make this thing official. The next step is a big one, signing the sale agreement. This is where you lock in the deal.
Now, to sign this agreement, you'll need to pay your down payment, which is usually around 20 to 25% of the property's value. The bank then covers the rest. This agreement is what proves to the bank that you've got some skin in the game, But here's the catch. This sale agreement has an expiry date. It's typically valid for about 30 to 45 days. That's your window to get the bank loan sorted. So, the moment it's signed, the clock officially starts ticking.
With that signed agreement in hand, it's time to get the money. You'll take that document straight to the bank to apply for the home loan that's going to make this whole dream a reality.
The bank's process is pretty straightforward. You give them the agreement and your other documents, they do their own legal and technical checks on the property, and then you get a loan sanction letter. But, and this is a big but, they won't schedule the final registration day until you show them proof that you've paid your entire down payment to the seller.
The good news is, getting that sanction letter is pretty quick, often just a week or 2. The main thing to keep in mind is that the final registration has to happen before that 30 to 45 days sale agreement expires.
And just like that, we've made it to the finish line. This is the day you've been waiting for, property registration. You'll head down to the sub-registrar office, or SRO, and officially, finally, make the home yours.
So, who needs to show up to this big event? Well, obviously, you and the seller. You'll also need 2 witnesses. And if you're taking a loan, the bank will send their own lawyer to make sure their interests are protected. After all the signing and thumbprints are done, you'll be given a document number. My advice? Take a photo of it right away. Save it. That number is your instant, official proof that the property is now legally yours.
Now you might be wondering, wait, why don't I get to take the original papers home? Well, the bank's lawyer collects the registration slip and all the original documents. They take these back to the bank, and that's the trigger that releases the final loan amount to the seller.
Congratulations! You are officially a homeowner. But the journey isn't quite over. There are just a few quick, essential things you need to do next.
Before that bank advocate leaves, do this one thing. Ask for a scanned copy or a photocopy of your registered document. Seriously, the bank will hold the original for the entire loan term. We're talking 15, 20 years. You're going to need that copy for everything that comes next.
And here are your first few errands as a new homeowner.
Using that copy, you'll go to the electricity board to change the meter from commercial to domestic. This will save you a ton on your bills. Then you'll apply for your official house number and get your water connection set up.
And that's pretty much it. The process is complete. The documents are registered, the utilities are on their way, and the house is all yours. That's a huge achievement. So the only real question left is, what's the very first thing you're going to do to make it feel like home?